Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Grim Hex. Now Grim Hex, as we all know, is a fantastic and beautifully modelled environment, and it's certainly up to some maximum fidelity graphics, but unfortunately I'm finding it's not quite the place for me. And in fact, I've spent the last few days trying to escape from Grim Hex. But more of that later on, because let's have some Star Citizen news. Well, what there is of it. Now, obviously CIG is just about getting back to work. I think they went back at the start of the week, maybe late last week. But they did send everybody a newsletter saying that the production teams were actually sitting down and looking at the schedules for 2017 for 3.0 and also obviously Squadron 42. Now in that newsletter there was a link to a very interesting video which I've not seen before, and it was actually fronted by Chris Roberts himself. Now basically the video was a great introduction for any new players looking at Star Citizen, and it really does a great job of telling them what Star Citizen is, and that it's actually still in early alpha, because there are a lot of people out there who are actually confused about the state of the game at the moment. Now obviously I've been playing quite a bit over the past few days trying to escape from Grim Hex, and I've also encountered some pretty common bugs. Now hopefully, as also was stated in the newsletter, there's going to be a patch maybe towards the end of the month for 2.6. Now this patch will deal with some of the common bugs and also reintroduce some new features which didn't quite make the cut for 2.6. So hopefully any of the bugs you might see in this issue may be no more before too long. However, some new ones will probably appear, and I'm afraid that it's the state of the game at the moment. There's going to be bugs for a long time to come, and once we get AI in the game, well, I think there's going to be some quite amusing bugs occur as well. Now CIG have also announced that they are revising the community content. Still going to be some of the regular shows around the verse, obviously. I think the next one is this Thursday, but they are dropping Reverse the Verse. Now I'm not sure why they're doing that, but maybe it was eating into too much of the developers' time. I don't know, but they are bringing a new community show on Fridays where Disco Lando and Tyler Whitkin, with the help of maybe some streamers and other members of the community out there, play the game. Maybe there'll be some devs popping by as well. We just have to wait and see. Now they have said that there's going to be some new shows coming up, so you know there could be some other shows in the pipeline we don't know about. But obviously the shows I really enjoy are when you get to actually ask questions or just hear someone like Tony Zurovic talk, or Aaron Roberts, or Chris Roberts, the man himself, or Sean Tracy, or the other guy in Frankfurt with the hair, who I seem to have forgotten his name at the moment. Well, let's move on with my escape from Grim Hex. Now the ship selection screens are a little buggy at the moment at Grim Hex. If you have trouble selecting a ship, just keep trying, and eventually you'll get one in the end. Now I was looking forward to actually getting into my Herald because it's a ship I haven't flown before, but just as I got into the airlock I noticed a rather bad ass looking dude joining me. Now I was actually going to ask him about his armour, But before I could say good morning, that happened. And you can see why I don't enjoy Grim Hex. If you don't succeed, try again. And in fact, this was about my 5th try to actually get off Grim Hex. Now I still had the Herald waiting on the pad, and I must admit, as I looked at this ship, and bearing in mind I was a bit nervous about hanging around on the landing pad at Grim Hex in case my earlier assailant suddenly reappeared. But looking at the Herald, it's actually a ship I'm starting to like. Now it's not got the elegant design of some of the other ships in the game, but there's something about it. It's chunky, bulky engines, and it's just it's something which appeals to me for some reason. Now I don't know how it would get on in atmospheric flight. Maybe it would fly like a brick. You certainly wouldn't be doing any gliding in the Herald. But once we get inside, you'll see what I mean. Well, the Herald is actually an info runner. It's very fast, so it can outrun a lot of ships with some vital information, but it's also can be used as an AWACS or early warning ship. As you can see, it's packed full of computer and communications equipment. Now, as you can see, there's a seat there for someone to sit by the communications and computers, so you can see that it's a two-man ship. Now, it's got a handy bunk, and of course, some handy conveniences there. But before anyone rather unpleasant decides to actually blow my ship up on the landing pad, I better escape from Grim Hex. Well, fortunately for me, there didn't seem to be anyone with any hostile intent left at Grim Hex. I think my earlier assailant had cleaned everybody up, and he was obviously searching elsewhere for more victims. Now, unfortunately, I was going to return to Grim Hex sooner than later. Well, my situation was going to go from good to worse, as I'd completely forgotten that to clear bad rep, you had to go to security post carrier. Now, things got even worse when I decided to EVA out of my Herald. And when I tried to get back in, I encountered something many people have experienced: the spinning top ship bug. And I was completely helpless again. Well, to cut a long story short, I made it to security post carrier, where I cleared my bad rep, and I managed to come back to Port Olisar. Well, I finally made it back to Port Olisar, a much more civilized environment. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, and also it will really help the channel a lot if you could consider subscribing. So until next time, I'll see you somewhere out in that big universe. Bye for now.